So good morning friends. As part of our study of current affairs with reference to mains content, from Hindu newspaper, today in the editorial page, we got this article by the name Harvest the Odisha story to ensure food security. So this is the story that has appeared today in the editorial page of Hindu paper, right? Let us see what it has for us to study. Okay, now the same thing, Harvest the Odisha story to ensure food security. Okay, so let us analyze that article and how it is important for our general studies mains paper, right? Now, as the global community grapples with the escalating impact of climate change, a lot of climate change is happening and we are suffering a lot because of that, right? Particularly during the 2023 United Nations Climate Change Conference, that is COP28. So COP means Conference of Parties. So it is the 28th conference held in Dubai. It is held in Dubai. COP means what? Conference of Parties. Okay? Conference of Parties. Okay? And it is the 28th one. That's why it is known as COP28. It is held in Dubai recently, right? So here the state of Odisha in India, the bordering state northeast of Andhra Pradesh, and for us it is in the southeast. Okay, so Odisha state, and it is a beacon of inspiration. The story of Odisha with respect to this climate change, how they have responded to the climate change, how they have harvested the agriculture. Initially it was starving for food, it was importing food, and now it is in a position to export food. So how the transformation has happened, that is an inspirational story for us. So the transformative journey in ensuring food security through innovative agricultural practices. So now it has secured food for its state people. Not only that, it is able to contribute to the pool of the country. Okay, it claimed climate resilience provides a compelling model. It is a model for all other states in our country. Not only in our country, worldwide also it is useful. Okay, the dire projections of increased disasters and food crisis globally because of climate change. There is a lot of food crisis. Okay, so dire means serious consequences. Okay, so there will be many problems throughout the world. So for them to emulate this Odisha project, it will be helpful for them. So first for that we have to understand what they have done. Okay, so let us see. Now it is under the head we are studying it, agricultural transformation, what has happened in Odisha. Okay, so historical shift in the last 2 decades, means 20 years, Odisha evolved from relying on rice imports to record food grain production of 13.606 million tons in 2022. Okay, so only in rice production itself, right? So it has now, instead of imports, now it is in a position to export. It is contributing even to the country's food grain, right? So let us see how it is doing. When we observe the story of Odisha, in Odisha there are majority of the farmers are small farmers. They are very small farmers. Then how could Odisha state achieve this transformation? So despite the majority being small marginal farmers, majority of them were small farmers, the state's emphasis on increasing productivity, they try to increase the productivity of the food grains. How? Significantly elevated the average rice yield, tripling from 10.41 quintals per hectare in 2000 year to 27.3 quintals per hectare in 2021. That means almost in 20 years, 3 times the rice production has increased. So per hectare there was 10.41 quintals of rice produced in year 2000-2001. However, that increased to 27.3 quintals in the year 2021. Okay, so 3 times. So for that, what it has done? It has planned certain schemes which were innovative, which were suitable for the conditions of Orissa, They planned their own, how to improve their own farmers. So flagship initiatives like Krishak Assistance for Livelihood and Income Augmentation, famous by the name Kalia. K means Krishak, A means assistance, L means livelihood, I means income, and A means augmentation. So this scheme, and also one more OMM, that is Odisha Millet Mission. These 2 schemes, they played a major role in reforming the agricultural sector of Odisha, so that Odisha, initially it was importing, but now it is in a position to supplement more. It is able to supply to the food chain of food grains for the country. Okay, now it is in a position to export. So they played a pivotal role, means important role in diversifying crops. So crops were diversified. Instead of putting all same crop all over the state, they diversified based on the seasons also. Okay, promoting climate resilience. Based on the climate, they changed the crop rotation, etc. and enhancing income for the small farmers. The schemes for increasing the income for the small farmers also. Okay, when benefits were shown to the small farmers, then they really happily participated in this scheme. Okay, in this program. Let us see what has happened. First one is Kalia, that is Krishak Assistance for Livelihood and Augmentation, Income Augmentation Scheme. Let us study what it is. In this program, what happened? The cabinet sanctioned Kalia scheme about more than 10,000 crores for this scheme. Okay, and it aimed at holistic development of farmers in the state. All the farmers, their conditions have to improve. So for this, they have allocated more than 10,000 crores. And then what happened? They gave financial assistance of 10,000 per family. How did they give? 5,000 for Kharif season and 5,000 for Rabi season, so that the agricultural activities were increased, fostering. So for the purpose of that. So like that, they try to help the farmers who are doing agriculture. Not only that, they gave livelihood support for the farmers who could not do cultivation due to old age, disability or illness. So their welfare was also taken care of. And not only that, there were landless households, those people who are not having the farmlands. So for them, what they have done, they empowering them to choose suitable units. So here these people are not able to do the work and their lands are there. So their lands can be taken up by these landless households. Mostly scheduled caste and scheduled tribe households, SC and ST people, they benefited from this scheme significantly. It is a win-win situation for both. Okay, and then how did they select? Let us see. Select the beneficiaries. The beneficiaries were selected by the gram panchayats, local gram panchayats. Okay, and they identified the deserving families who are eligible for this, and the target was to cover 10 lakh households over 2 years. Odisha population is about 4.3 crores now today as on day. So 10 lakh households. 10 lakh households means how many people? Approximately there may be average of 3 or 4 people per household. So about 30 to 40 lakhs. So almost 10% of the people were benefiting from this. Okay, not only that, they also incorporated LIC, life insurance, and then per 2 lakh per family, and then in the personal accident also another 2 lakhs for cultivators, means farmers, and landless agricultural laborers also. It benefited approximately 74 lakh households. 74 lakh means almost 2.1, 2.2 crores, 2.1 to 2.5 crores. So almost it was covering about 60% of the population. So this what happened, it augmented agricultural prosperity, automatically the farming has improved, and alleviate poverty. So because of all these schemes, poverty decreased. Those people, for example, they met with an accident, then they were getting 2 lakh rupees. So when a person running the family loses life, then that family will be ruined. But because of these schemes or personal accident policy or whatever it is, so their living standards improved. So poverty alleviated. Alleviate means decrease, and directly impact the lives of the most vulnerable. You know, most of the people who are living in the landless households, they are the most vulnerable people. So the investments were made, and efficient direct benefit transfer mechanisms. So no intermediate people, okay, no intermediate people. The direct benefit mechanisms were implemented so that the beneficiaries were transferred the amounts directly. Okay. So additionally, the scheme supports 10 lakh landless households in engaging diverse activities. So under 10 lakhs means under 30 lakh people. So like this, almost 60 to 70% of the rural population. Agriculture usually will be in the rural. So when almost the whole rural population is enriched, then automatically there will be prosperity. Okay, that's what has happened. Promoting sustainability and economic empowerment. So even rural Odisha got empowerment because of that. That is Kalia project. And then we are coming to the second one. What is that? Odisha Millets Mission. Millets. You know, small millets, you know, right? Jawar, etc. So as part of this, Millet Shakti caves and outlets have been inaugurated across several districts. Okay. So the training sessions were offered. Lot many food products were derived from millets were sold there. So training sessions were offered to create recipe. Recipe means whatever you cook with these millets, which are eatables, they are called as recipes. Okay, curries or everything. Okay, any eatery is called as a recipe. Okay, so packaging techniques, quality control measures, marketing strategies. So the lower end of the population which was suffering under poverty, they were all empowered with all these schemes. Okay, they readily participated, happily participated, right? So, and other essential skills. This initiative specifically empowers women, recipe preparation, packaging, etc. Okay, enabling them to actively engage and contribute to the burgeoning millet industry. Got it? So 50% of the population is women. So they were taken care of with this Odisha Millets Mission, apart from the Kalia project. Even Kalia project helped the women. Apart from that, even Odisha Millets Mission. So whole household, it was brought up from the poverty above the poverty line. Right? So resilience and sustainability. What is this? Let us see. Climate action plan. See, Odisha always faces climate problems. Cyclones will be there, everything, many problems will be there. So recognizing its vulnerability, Odisha proactively developed a comprehensive climate change action plan. So whenever the climate changes, they developed a plan wherein the loss for the agriculture will be less. Okay, covering various sectors. The plan is implemented and monitored by multiple departments, state government departments, incorporating inputs from the civil society. So the intelligentsia or people who are there in the civil society, even their advices were also taken so that there will be less damage during the climate change. Okay, and then community driven approach. So this is always important, right? The state's approach towards climate resilience involves bottom up strategies from the downward, right? Such as the crop weather watch group, which monitors crop programs and facilitates timely interventions during adverse weather conditions. So whenever the weather becomes adverse, then this group, crop weather watch group, it helps the farmers with right advices, what to do, okay, what cares are supposed to be taken. And then resilient practices were adopted. Farmers are embracing climate resilient cultivation practices. Okay, So whenever there will be a change climate, during that also it should be resilient, means one which can withstand the climate change. Okay, including integrated farming, zero input based natural farming. So lot many farming practices were done, non-paddy crops. So they did not go only for paddy, non-paddy crops also they did. They went for them. And efficient water management. So water was not wasted. Whatever water was available, it was managed very efficiently, so that they will be utilized for more hectares of agriculture, more acres of agriculture. Training programs on crop specific techniques. So what techniques are required for which kind of crop? All those training programs were also conducted across the state in the rural Odisha. It contributed to increase of food grain production. So agriculture, farmers, landless farm laborers, everybody was taken care of through these schemes for 2 decades in Odisha. Okay. Now, another area that covered under this is social protection, surplus state. Now, Odisha consistent improvement in the agricultural sector has transformed it into a surplus state for paddy production. See, previously Odisha was importing food grains. Now, it is because of this improvement in the agricultural sector, now it transformed it into surplus state for paddy production. Now, it is able to produce paddy more than necessary for its own populace. So it contributed significantly to the national food grain pool. So rather than becoming a burden for the national food grain pool, now it is able to supplement it to the national food grain pool. Okay. So in this it had many partnerships also. What kind of partnerships? With international organizations. What are they? United Nations World Food Program, WFP. With them they have entered into programs and they have yielded innovative solutions and including biometric technology. They have used the biometric technology applications in the targeted public distribution system, PDS system, and rice fortification. Okay. So even getting into collaboration with the United Nations World Food Program, it has helped it in renovating these practices. Now national recognition. So Odisha achieved top ranking in the National Food Security Act State Ranking Index for 2022. National Food Security Act means NFSA. Okay. So in this it has got the top ranking in the year 2022 and it affirms the commitment to food and nutrition security. The partnership with WFP means World Food Program, it reinforces states' initiatives in food security, livelihood and climate resilience. So let us see what is this NFSA. So Odisha got national recognition because it has got the top rank in the NFSA ranking in the year 2022. So what is this NFSA? See, NFSA was enacted in the year 2013 on 10th September. Its objective was to ensure food and nutritional security. So for all the population, it should ensure security of food and security of nutrition, right? Throughout the human life cycle. So right from birth to death, throughout the cycle, and guaranteeing access to sufficient quantities of quality food. So the food should be of good quality and should be sufficient, not inadequate. Okay, sufficient quantity, and at what price? At the price at which the people can afford it. Okay, enabling people to lead life with dignity. So when they have good food which is affordable for them, then they will be living with dignity. So that was the main intention of the NFSA Act, National Food Security Act. Okay. Now, how much did this NFSA Act cover in Odisha? So it says that 75% of the rural population in Odisha and 50% of the urban population in Odisha was targeted under this public distribution system in NFSA, and as such it covered 67% of the entire population. So almost the whole of the lower rung of the population was given proper food and nutrition. Okay, so they could live life with dignity. That's why it got the top ranking in the NFSA 2022 index. Okay, now let us try to conclude this. What do we understand from this? in the face of the global challenges, means the challenges which are faced by people all over the world because of the climate change and its impact on food security, because there is a change in the climate, the food has become insufficient. Okay. So in this, the Odisha experiment stands out to be as a paradigm of successful transformation. Okay, successful transformation. Initially the food was not sufficient, they were importing food, and now they are having surplus of production, so they are exporting food now. Okay, so that's what the state's journey from scarcity to surplus. Initially it was scarcity, food was less, so they were importing, and now it is surplus, so they are able to export. So and they are implementing climate change proofing of agriculture, and then protection of smallholder interests. See, they are not going in the capitalist way, they are taking care of smaller farmers, they are taking care of landless poor labor, everybody, and not only that, the aging people who are unable to do the farming. So whole of the agricultural sector was taken under one roof, protected, they were protected under these two schemes. Okay. So innovative partnership, they have also entered into partnerships, right, that the other states of our country can emulate them. Okay. As world leaders coverage at COP 28, Odisha's success story offers valuable insights into building resilient and sustainable food systems and amidst the growing climate crisis. So following, emulating whatever Odisha state has done, if the other states of the country also do it, not only our country states, the other countries also, outside our country, other countries also, if they implement that, then it will be a good change. Okay. So from this we will get a question in mains. I have made a question for mains from this. So here you can see the question is directly related to Kalya scheme in Odisha. Kalya scheme in Odisha. What are its key components and its significance, and how this initiative contributed to the overall goal of ensuring food security and uplifting the agricultural sector. Okay, and its impact on small and marginal farmers, because it was totally focusing on small and marginal farmers. They were not worried about the big farmers, because big farmers can take care of themselves anyway. Okay, and the vulnerable sections, even the landless people also, they were also taken care of. So it is a 10 marker, about 150 words. It is GS, 3 comes under agriculture. Okay, right. Now we will go to the next question. We will go to the next question for today, right? So, in today's Hindu paper, in science section, there is an article by the name Origin Mystery of Mummified Baboons Finally Cracked. It was finally cracked. What it says is that the Egyptian god Thoth, was represented by a baboon. Okay, Egyptian god. Okay, and which is odd because baboons are not native of Egypt. They were not native of Egypt. However, their god was represented by a baboon. So, an interdisciplinary team means a team which was coming from many various disciplines. It cracked the long-standing mystery where these baboons come from using ancient DNA from the mummified animal at the Gabbanat El Kurut site. So, they tried to find out from where these baboons came through DNA structure from the mummified. Okay. So they checked it, right? Let us see how it is. So the same article, origin of mummified baboons finally cracked. What is the mystery? When there were no baboons, there is no tracking of baboons in Egypt, how come they became the god there? So how the baboons came to represent the got there. So in the ancient Egypt, the baboons were the mummified baboons are there, and they are associated with the representation of God. So as it is taken from the paper. And primatologists, primates means all animals which are related to human beings, they all are grouped under primates, similar to man. Okay, man, monkeys, chimpanzees, gorillas, all these come under primates. Okay, so primatologist means a scientist who studies these primates. So by the name Gisela Kopp of the University of Cosenz, Germany. Okay, so they did this DNA analysis to unfold the mystery. Okay, to unfold the mystery. So the study focused on baboon remains means mummified, whatever remains were there, discovered at this site in Egypt, and traced their origin to the ancient city of Adjulis, present day coastal Eritrea. Eritrea is on the bottom side of Egypt, adjacent to Red Sea. For example, if you look at this, map, if we search for Red Sea, see, this is Red Sea. Okay, this is Eritrea and this is Egypt. So Adjulis, in the ancient times it was called Eritrea, in the ancient times it was called as Adjulis. So the contact between Egypt and Eritrea or Adjulis. So that is what is established in this. Okay, so there was a significant trade center, that is Eritrea, or older days it is Adjulis, from the 1st to 7th century AD. Okay, now we are in 21st century AD, so about 14 centuries back. Okay, let us see what it is. Now, if you go to the historical background in 1905, Egyptologists means the scientists of Egypt, who study the Egypt. Okay, what are their names? Lartet and Gaillard. They discovered mummified baboons where at the Gabanat el Kurut, a site in Egypt. Okay, and challenging expectations as baboons are not native to Egypt. They were not present, they are not in Egypt now. So how they have found these mummified baboons? So they studied for over a century. So 1905 means now we are in 2023. So almost more than a century. The origin of these baboons remained unknown. Okay, raising questions about their presence in ancient Egypt rituals. So ancient Egypt rituals, baboons were there as god Thoth, right? So how they were there, and the representation of god Thoth. Now scientific approach, how to study this, right? So Dr. Kopp and his team, they utilized mitochondrial DNA to trace the baboon's origin. So whatever mummified baboons were there, from them mitochondrial DNA were taken, and they got that the connection to Adjulis, the city Adjulis, through the genetic analysis of these baboons. So present day Eritrea, whatever baboons are there, if you check them, their genetic analysis was similar to, it is similar to the mitochondrial DNA analysis of the mummified baboons. Okay, so mitochondrial DNA provided a precise method to the trace geographical origin of the baboons, from where these baboons came. Okay, and offering insights into ancient trade routes. So why to study baboons? What is the usage means? Previously in the olden days, how trade happened. So with the traders only, animals also move from one place to the other place. So when you study this, then you also get the route that initially through the Red Sea, the Egyptians, they had their trade contacts with Adjulis city from 100 years to 700 years AD. Okay, 1st century to 7th century. So significance of findings. What is the significance? Let us see. It not only solved the baboon mystery, because baboons are not native of Egypt. So how they were there? They were in the olden days, in the ancient days, how baboons found their place in Egyptian rituals, and also how their god Thoth is represented by baboons. All those things. Also shed light on the potential location of the last city of Punt. Okay, a crucial trading partner for Egypt. Right. So Punt was another city. Right. Now. So understanding the trade routes, how the trade happened between different countries in those olden days, and relationship between Adulis and Egypt, unveils the historical connections between Egypt and this Eritrea, present day Eritrea, how the trade has happened. All these studies can be done with this. So anthropological studies, all these come under. Okay, and what are the challenges and innovations? Mummification. Mummification means whenever an animal dies and it gets mummified. Okay, parts will be remaining, but they get this certification. Okay, mummified stage. It was not allowing DNA analysis. However, now these people have found out a way to have the genetic studies and demonstrated successful DNA extraction even from the mummified baboons. They could extract DNA successfully and they could study their genetics. And they found that their ancestors were from Eritrea. Okay. Now, the study pioneers ancient DNA analysis of non-human primates. I told you, other than human beings, whatever primates are there, the DNA studies, all of them can be done by this. And opening avenues for further exploration of understanding ancient civilizations. So this is all of anthropological importance, how the human society, how the human civilization has developed over the centuries. Okay, right. Now let us go for the conclusion from this. What can be concluded from this? See, the successful unraveling of the origin mystery of the mummified baboons, it showcases the power of interdisciplinary research. So based on different disciplines, they are doing the research, how it can do it, and genetic analysis in solving the historical puzzles. So you can see that the historical puzzle here is that Egypt has no, it is not a native to baboons, but still baboons found a place in ancient Egyptian rituals. So how it happened, all those things can be studied here. This discovery not only clarifies the enigma surrounding baboon mummies. Baboon mummies are found where? In Egypt, right? So what is the problem there? Also provides valuable insights into ancient trade networks, how trade happened between countries in the ancient times, emphasizing the Red Sea's historical significance. Just now I have shown you, Red Sea, how it is. This is the Red Sea, right? This is the Red Sea. So this is Red Sea. Okay. So through Red Sea, all trading was done between different countries. Presently we are studying Egypt and Eritrea. Okay, how they utilize this route. Okay. Emphasize the study's findings highlight the importance of continued exploration of ancient DNA. Because when you study ancient DNA, then automatically you understand how to trace the trading between different countries across the globe. Okay, in the olden days, ancient days. Understanding of human-animal interactions. Okay, how animals interacted with humans and historical trade relationships. In this point of view, it is important. Now, what can be the main question? See, discuss the significance of the recent discovery regarding the origin of mummified baboons. Recently it was discovered. What is its significance? You have to discuss. So what is its significance? It helps us in understanding historical trade relationships, animal interactions, how the trade has happened between different countries. Okay, all those things, right? So ancient Egypt through mitochondrial DNA analysis. How does this interdisciplinary breakthrough contribute to our understanding of ancient trade works and historical connections between regions like Adulis and Egypt? So this is 10 marker. This is a 10 mark.